Hello everyone, this is the Insert Title Show and I'm your host, Wolf Strife. I am recording this episode on January 2nd, 2016. Now, about an hour ago I beat my first game of the year. It's a indie game called Aphelion 2. It's a pretty cool game, I liked it. It's kind of an old school RPG game. And if you have Xbox Live, I would definitely recommend you check it out if you like old school RPG games. But that's not the reason for this episode. The reason is because ever since 2004, I have kept a notebook that I affectionately refer to as the Tome. And in the Tome, I write down the name of the game and the date and all that stuff. So ever since 2004, I've been writing down every single video game that I beat. So seeing how this was my first game that I beat this year, it's time to, look for some clear pages because this is a really old notebook. I mean, it's got just all kinds of stuff I used to write in it, like, Christmas lists. So I got like my Christmas list from 2002 in here. I got little doodles and drawings and stuff. So it's pretty cool old notebook. Good glimpse into my mind, I guess. So it's kind of hard to find blank pages because I need a clear front page and a clear back page. The front page for the video games I beat and the back page for books I read the same year. So after I beat the game, I was flipping through this notebook looking for two clear pages. And I went through the whole thing and I didn't find any. So I was like, oh shit, this is a big deal. Looks like I am going to have to retire the Tome. So I was like, man, this is a really big deal. So yeah, I've been flipping through it and just looking at all the stuff I've written in here. And that's pretty interesting. But it's also kind of interesting how I still kind of do this kind of stuff. Except nowadays I mostly save it on my computer, like Word files and bookmarks of articles and stuff. Christmas lists, I usually, do it on Amazon, shopping cart and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, the old French saying, more things change, the more they stay the same, and that's, this notebook is definitely proof of that. But yeah, I was kind of sad. I was like, man, finished the Tome. Good thing I have a bunch of notebooks around the house, though, so I got a second Tome, and it's good to go. But, I was just flipping through this, and started back in 2004. That was a hell of a good gaming year for me. I beat Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy X, Beyond Good and Evil, Jak and Daxter, Splinter Cell, Resident Evil Remake, Knights of the Old Republic, holy crap, Kingdom Hearts, Fear Effect, Myth 3, Twisted Metal Black, and of course my favorite game of all time, Metal Gear Solid 3. So that was definitely a good year to start writing this stuff down, just to keep a record. I guess my thinking was, I kind of beat a lot of games this year. I should probably, keep track. Basically the way I did it was just number them and write the year that the game came out beside the name. It wasn't until 2005 where I kind of figured out how to do it. That's when I started writing down the date that I beat the game on, and if the game tells you how much time you spent beating the game. So, 2005 was kind of when I figured it out. But, it's pretty cool having this record, and I would definitely recommend anyone who's been gaming for a while to definitely write down and keep a record of it because it's pretty cool to look back on. Like 2005 was a pretty good gaming year. Be it God of War, Brothers in Arms, Prince of Persia, Ace Combat 4, and the very first Guitar Hero. So that's pretty cool. I didn't start keeping a record of the books I've read until 2008, I think. But I don't know. I'm not a huge reader. I think my record for most books in 1 year was 2014. I read 22 books in 1 year. I mean, some of the book reading channels I'm subscribed to on YouTube, I mean, these people are reading like between 5 and 10 books a month. So, yeah, I'm definitely not a quick reader, but I I'm definitely proud of my games I've beaten. And if you're curious, the record, from my personal record for most games beat in a year was 2010. I beat exactly 50 video games that year. That was nuts. Actually, I had to write that down on 2 pages, so that's how crazy it was. But yeah, I beat a lot of good games that year. Alien vs. Predator, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, Shell Shock 2, one of the scariest games I've ever beaten. Mass Effect 2, Dante's Inferno, God of War 3, Toy Soldiers 1, Sniper Ghost Warrior, Clive Barker's Jericho, Bioshock 1. Yeah, that's a lot of good games there. I think 2009 was a pretty damn good gaming year for me too. I think I'd be, Mass Effect 1, Tomb Raider Anniversary, 2 Human, Prey, Guitar Hero Metallica, hell yeah, X-Men Origins, Left 4 Dead, I think I beat that one with Chili, Fallout 3, Assassin's Creed 1, Halo ODST, I think I also beat that with Chili, Darkest of Days, Dragon Age Origins, hell yeah, that was a good year. So yeah, it's just fun kind of, keeping a record and looking back on it and, being able to keep track of what the hell you've beaten in your life. Now, I did the numbers. I went through the whole tome and added up all the games I've beaten between 2004 and 2015. And it came out to 279 video games. So I guess that's pretty good, I guess. Don't really have anyone to compare it to, really, that I know of. But, so, I was a pretty big gamer in the late 90s and early 2000s, so, I don't know, unfortunately, I only started keeping a record in 2004, so I don't think I'm ever going to know exactly how many video games I've beaten, but, I would probably say the numbers are somewhere around 350, give or take. And I also wrote down and added up how many books I've read between 2008 and 2015. And it's only 108 books, but I guess that's okay. Naturally, I would like to read more, but whatever. I'm pretty proud of my video games, though. That's a pretty cool number. So yeah, I'm retiring the first tome. A lot of great stuff in it. And tonight I started my second tome, so hopefully I get some really good games and really good books in there. And hopefully there's many more great games and books to come. So I just wanted to do an episode about it because this tome really does mean a lot to me. Just because it's kind of a record of, a big chunk of my life. It takes a lot of time to beat a video game and read a book, so just kind of want to keep a record of it, I guess. And there's so many great video games in here. I mean, my God. I mean, there's Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 2, Oblivion, Skyrim, God of War 1 and 2, basically most of my top 20 favorite games are on this, so that's pretty cool. So, if you haven't started your own notebook or tome, or whatever you want to call it, I would definitely recommend it because it's definitely cool to look back on and keep track of, what you've done in your life. So, Happy New Year and take it easy.